Hey, sports fans, it is Conversations with Larry, and today we're with Jeff Shaver. I have known Jeff for, now, Jeff, correct me if I'm wrong, about 35 years? Does that make sense?
Yeah,
I,
that makes sense.
I knew of you by reputation before that, but I've known, and Jeff has a picture of me from um, Beijing in 2008, passed out behind 35 bottles of Heineken, which every once in a while he likes to put up just to make me feel good. We're going to talk to Jeff today about the World Champs coming up because we're going to spend a little time with him over in Tokyo, and also various other subjects that we can solve the problems of track and field. Jeff, great to see you. Well, I like the shirt, 2013, man. You keep a few.
What is it?
So, Jeff, how did you get involved in the sport of track and field?
Just running away from the law, mostly.
Okay, that's
Back in,
great. What was that in Santa Monica, Southern California?
uh, yeah, so I mean, a lot of people have similar stories where they were either too small or too uncoordinated to do the team sports,
Yeah,
and they find out they can run forever.
yeah.
So that's kind of tried all the team sports in junior high, and I think they call it middle school these days,
Yeah.
and then got into high school. Actually, the why I went out for cross country. My father was a teacher at the high school I went to. He had left, but he still had some friends from there, and he had a birthday party at his house right before my I was about to enter high school. And he introduced one of the guys as the cross country coach, and the coach said, "Come on out." And I said, "I won't have time to run across the country. I have a full load of academic classes coming up." And then he explained to me what cross country was, and so I went out and had a good time.
Now, where'd you go to high school?
Palisades High, Civic Palisades, California, in
And
Southern.
where'd you go to college?
Did 2 years at Santa Monica JC,
Okay,
and you can see the poster on the wall here behind me. One of those guys was my coach there for 2 years,
nice.
and then I went to San Jose State after that.
Okay, I think I may have met you at State. I'm just trying to think of the time period. Did you know Urs Comber at San Jose State, the 400 guy? He was.
I sure did, and the thing I most regret about Urs Comber is he talked me into trading jerseys with him. I had a really nice kind of old school Santa Monica College Corsair jersey with a big pirate patch sewed on the front, and he loved it.
Yeah.
He says, "I'll give you a Swiss national jersey if you give me that."
Wow.
He gave me this just plain vanilla jersey with the Swiss cross on it or something. It was not a good trade.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I used to hang out with him when I get to do meets at San Jose State, and we just chatted up a storm. And he would tell me stories about the Moscow Olympics, and which I thought was pretty cool, you know. But
Yeah.
so
Another sports athlete was my roommate at San Jose State, pole vaulter Felix Boney.
I remember Felix. Oh my gosh, what's the difference for our readers? Talk to us about your community college experience.
So I actually had a scholarship offer to Cal Lutheran in Thousand Oaks,
Okay.
and I was supposed to go there, but then there were rumors that my Santa Monica track club coach Joe Douglas was going to be the new coach at Santa Monica College.
Okay.
He had a real impact on my senior year
Hmm.
at Palisades High, and so I last minute decided to go to Santa Monica College.
Oh wow.
And then Joe didn't get the job. Tommy Smith got the job. He was coming over from Oberlin College.
Okay.
Um, but by that time, I had committed, and we had a good group of guys on the cross country team. So I did my 2 years there. But that was probably at the maturity level I was at back then. That was a good step for me. I
Uh-huh.
don't know how I would have handled moving away from home and
Yeah.
go 4 years. So academically and running wise and maturity growth, it was a good step for me. They call
Well,
it a, they used to call it a high school with ashtrays.
what were your best times out of high school?
425 mile, 925 2 mile,
Cool. And then what about after junior college?
uh, 3009, 10,000,
Wow, nice.
35,000.
Did you
Um,
like the did you like the 10?
it was the longest thing I could do on the track.
Yeah,
My PR was at Mount Sac, and I got lapped twice by Gitima Shahanga, who set a Tanzanian national record that day.
I remember Mr. Shahanga. Yes,
So
yes.
PR's a feel good, but getting lapped twice is not a feel good.
Yeah, Gruber lapped me 3 times and he went one, two, and then three when he went by me the third time. And then he gave me shit for the next month. So, it's now when you were at San Jose State, who was your coach?
Marshall Clark,
Oh, wow. Okay. What was
he had
Marshall like?
just come over. He had just come over from Montana, so we were both in our first year there.
Did you like Marshall?
Oh, great guy. He was kind of a San Jose based father figure to me.
Okay.
He took care of me. I was kind of out on my own up there.
Yeah. Now, what did you run at San Jose State? Five in the 10?
5 and 10, yeah.
And what did you end up running?
Oh, those are the times I mentioned earlier, 3009 and 1430.
That's nice. That's nice. Um, and you're still running most days?
Every day.
Oh, cool. And you run now for the Hoka Aggies, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Is that a religious group or more of a cult?
Probably more of a cult. We just came back from a 5 day mountain retreat where a lot of homebrewed Kool-Aid was consumed.
Hmm. Are there
Um,
animal sacrifices at these events?
no, we occasionally have people duct tape to a tree and lathered in peanut butter just to see how the bears react at night.
Yeah, the duct tape is really something that's underrated, I believe. It, it's something that I think surgeons should use. It could be, really a good thing. So, Jeff, the reason why we have you here today, we're going to both be over in Tokyo for the World Champs, and I'm quite excited about it. I haven't got to share a World Champs or Olympics with you, I believe, since 2015 or 2008 in 208 in Beijing. Were you there in 2015 in Beijing?
At the Olympics?
Yeah, or no, at the World Champs in 2015.
No, I was not.
Okay, you were so we got to spend time in Beijing in 2008, and I think now 17 years later we can tell people that I snuck you into the stadium many nights as my assistant, walking past a group of Chinese military and had a badge for you that was the same color as my credential, and you would just carry a bunch of books, and then we would go up, drink beer, and we would watch track. It was really a fun experience.
Yep.
We had
Dollar beers in the stadium.
Yeah, yes. Well, that's where I started doing BBC. And the story was what this is like 96 in Atlanta. In Atlanta, the BBC guys were drinking Bud and they were calling it piss water, but they were drinking 16 of them before they got on the broadcast and they could barely sit up. Well, in China, the beers were bigger. I believe they were, 24 ounces or maybe a bit more. Um, and I tried to just drink beer for 18 days because I was concerned with the water. It was just a purely, scientific experiment. But I went by the BBC booth and these guys couldn't say their name. So I literally got on for a few minutes and that's how I started doing BBC. But, I'm very grateful to the Chinese beers. Now we'll have good Japanese beer. What beer should we be drinking while we're over there, Jeff?
So that's hard to say. I'll be going to a baseball game while I'm over there,
Nice. Who are you going
and
to see?
the vendors at the baseball stadium carry around they girls for each beer company will wear these Ghostbuster like backpacks
Uh-huh.
with kegs on them. And I find it my civic duty over there representing America to not just point at one, but make sure I try them all.
Oh,
And
that's
there's at
good.
least five.
That's good.
So
That's
there's Sapporo, there's Kirin, there's Asahi, there's Suntory, and Ebisu is the Yebisu with a Y. And
What
so
is
I
your
make
favorite?
sure I compare and contrast
Sure.
all of those.
In comparing and contrasting the various beer opportunities in Japan, do you have favorites?
Well, they're throwing a wrench in that because I used to favor Sapporo, but now they're really big in the microbrewing industry over there. So I find myself having to kind of go to these underground establishments and try their microbrews.
Okay, that I think perhaps one evening we might try to do that, and or maybe during a break during the middle of the day, because then I'll be really primed for an evening session, and
That's
that
the best.
that could be very. So I want to go over some events and some things that and see what your thoughts are, and let's have a little bit of fun with it. We're going to get this up before the World Champs start on the 13th, and so people can tell us. My favorite comment. I know when I'm doing the right thing is when someone sends me a note. Sometimes it's Mr. Osterhaus, Larry, you've been smoking the crack pipe, and I know that I'm doing my job. So. Um, Men's 100 meters. Where do you see the men's 100 meters, my friend?
Um, Probably between Shane Thompson and Noah Lyles and Kenny Bednarik. Those are the three I see in there, but there always could be surprises.
Do you think Noah, were you surprised when Noah won by the skin of his butt in Paris?
Yeah, I was.
Okay, okay. And then he seems to be able to get into shape pretty damn well, and he's really controlled his racing. What do you like about Kenny Bednarik?
He just seems to show up for everything. He's got a great attitude. I love the way he shoved Noah at the Nationals in Eugene.
Yes,
Uh,
yes. I thought that was a wake up call for Mr. Lyles.
he
Yes.
just seems real. He doesn't seem phony.
Yeah, yeah. Um, on the women's side of the 100, any thoughts there?
I think Melissa Jefferson um, seems to be really on fire right now.
Uh,
I don't know if she can hold off Julie and Alfred.
yeah,
She's, I think, between those two.
yeah, yeah.
Um, like to see Jefferson win, but Alfred's did a lot for her country by winning last year.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. And she's a fun interview. She's really, really good. And I just found a picture of her with Merlene Odie, who'd been around forever, and it was kind of neat. Really enjoyed that. Let's go to the 200. On the men's side, what's your thought process in the 200?
I mean, I'd love to see Lyles win it again,
Yeah,
but I'd also like to see Bednarik pull the upset.
yeah,
Um, Tobago may beat them all, but Noah got him at the Diamond League recently, so we'll see what happens there. But I think it's down to those three.
yeah. No, I think it's so. Do you hold the theory? I remember I interviewed Ian Stewart um, years ago, and his philosophy was when he got to a final that anybody in the final could win. Um, so he had to keep his eyes open for every move. Do you hold that thought process, or do you
When you're
support?
talking about keeping eyes open, wasn't there an incident in was it Paris where the buses crashed into each other and somebody got some glass in their eye and they had to delay the start of the
Yes,
semifinal?
my friend, you remember all the little minutia. I appreciate that. That is true. That is true. Um, Talk about the women's 200 meters.
Well, I think
Jeffrey Thomas is out. Yeah.
I was surprised when Jefferson pulled off the double at the U.S. meet.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, I think Thompson won't. Uh, is that who I'm thinking of? Yeah,
Was it Jefferson?
Gabby Thomas, not Thompson.
Yeah.
She's out, but I think she would have been favorite. But she's got some aches and pains. Um, so that one may be between Jefferson and Alford as well.
Yeah. I think you might see a Brit in for three, perhaps Dean Asher Smith or this young woman, Amy Hunt, who seems to be doing really, really well. But um, I think the battle for the top two is going to be really, really interesting. Um, let's go to the 400. You've got on the men's side, you go Jackery Peterson, the former UPS driver. Um, you've got Vernon Norwood, who just got in at the last second. Matthew um, Hudson over in the UK. Charles Dobson in the UK. What are your thoughts there?
I'd like to see an American uh,
Okay.
pull it off, but I have a feeling it's going to be Hudson Smith
Yeah.
from the UK.
Yeah. He performs well on the big days. And
Yeah,
yeah, I got to interview him in at Pre, and I really enjoyed his approach to the event, but how much he enjoys it, and he's a student of the event too. And I like it when people geek out about their own events. I'm going to put the spoiler in is Charles Dobson. He's the second British guy, and I think he's primed for sub 44. I think it's going to be like a 43.8, 43.85, and if that happens, you're going to have four guys into the battle, and that's going to be really fascinating. Um, what about the women's 400? Can Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone win a medal?
I think she'll medal. I
Okay,
I think it won't be higher than silver though.
yeah,
Um, I think Paulino has just got too much experience on her.
yeah.
Um,
I have a problem recommending Nasser because of her alleged better running through chemistry, but I know I'm going to get hate mail on that one. But the I'm starting to get to think, and this is probably a great place to get your thoughts. What are your thoughts about when people get busted for a whereabouts test? Do you think it's, oh, I slipped, I forgot, or oh, I'm just hiding?
I think the one time may be excusable, but the three-time thing, there's something wrong there.
Yeah, okay, thank you. I think you said that well. Um, 800. The 800s are going to be insane on both sides. We've just been seeing 800 running out of control. That Josh Hoey's not on the team is pretty amazing, but Donovan Brazier and Cooper Lutkenhaus and Bryce Hoppel blew my mind. That was one of the best eight. I got to go back to, I think, the 84 Olympic trials, man, in the U.S. to think of a better 800 on U.S. soil. What were your thoughts about that race? And then how do you think the men's race will be in Tokyo?
My thoughts on the '84 race
Or no thoughts? Well, yeah, let's talk about the 84 race.
and who was in there?
Was it
Earl
Joe,
Jones,
Earl Jones, John Marshall? Oh my gosh,
Johnny Gray.
Johnny Gray, and yeah, that was an insane race. And then Johnny Gray went and broke the American record right after that, and that record stood until Donovan Brazier took it down in 2019.
Yeah, Johnny Gray was a good friend. Raced him a lot in high school, and he was on my a teammate at Santa Monica College
Oh, cool.
under Tommy Smith. So he actually one of the first time I was aware of a 800-meter runner that did significant mileage.
Oh,
Uh,
wow.
so he actually won our conference in the 800 and the 1500.
Oh, man.
But the going back to the Eugene race, from July. Uh, that race just shocked me. I think
Uh-huh.
everybody thought it was going to be down to Hoey and Hopple with maybe who knows what Brazier's going to do.
Yeah.
Lukenhouse just came out of nowhere.
Yeah, Brazier ran like he had held all of his emotions for 6 years and put it into one race, you know. Um, it was he didn't make a bad move in that race. Um, and Cooper Lutkenhouse blew my mind. How do you think they will fare in Tokyo?
I see it coming down to Wanyoni's had a long year, but he still seems to be in it. If he runs a smart race, I think he's unbeatable.
Hmm.
I think Brazier can sneak in for a medal.
Hmm.
I'd like to see Hoppel in there, but he's been all over the map this year. You don't know if he's going to run 142 or 149 in some of these things.
Yeah, yeah,
Um, House, I think it'd be amazing if he made the final, and if he get in the final, it's just like the U.S. finals. Anything can happen.
yeah. I think you're right. Now let's go to the women's 800. Um, You got Keely Hodgkinson, who's run two races, a 154.74 and a 155, what, 8? But then you've also got this woman from Switzerland, Aro, who's run a 156 in change. And then you've got Georgia Hunter Bell as well. Any thoughts on that race?
Uh, I like Hodgkinson. I It's hard to say what she's been doing in training
Yeah,
to get her all the way to her racing comeback. Um, if she's got the base and the legs behind her, I think she's in for the win.
yeah,
Um, if she goes out hard and thinking she's got a one and ties up, I see somebody like Bell or Wero coming in from behind.
yeah, yeah. Um,
I don't see any Americans
yeah.
even making the final, though.
Do you think Athing Mu Nikolaev will come back?
Uh, that's hard to say. There's a lot of talk about needing to get a different coach, different environment.
Yeah,
I don't know if she's been running since she was a kid. Running may not be important to her anymore. If it is, she'll move and she'll get a new coach and she'll come back, but I don't see it.
yeah, yeah. I think I tend to agree with you there. Let's get to probably one of the highlights of the meet, the 1500 meters, and we'll start with the men. And there are a cast of characters, my friend, right?
Oh, yeah.
Cole Hawker, who just dazzled everybody in Paris, and seems to be coming around into fine shape. Josh Kerr, who has been very careful with his racing. Um, Jakob Ingebrigtsen, who hasn't raced. I mean, I saw him in March when he won the 1500 and 3000 in the Euro Indoors and interviewed him then. And then he went and won the World Indoors too. And then he's had some Achilles issues, but his training seems to be coming along. How do you take that race? What's your thought process?
I've kind of seen it as this is going to be full of surprises.
Okay.
There's a lot of new people coming onto the scene. Um, I keep wanting to call Fanuel Coach. I keep wanting to call him Fanuel Hall out of the marketplace in Boston.
Yes, yes. Good seafood.
But there's Jonah Coach and there's Fanuel Coach. But these young kids that seem to have the kick as long as they can hang on. If it's 329, 330, 331 race, you got uh, the
Niels Loros?
Niels Laros and the I'm drawing a blank, the kid from North Carolina.
Eric Strand.
Strand and Laros are like my favorites to just throw in a big upset
Yeah,
and
yeah, I agree with you.
have the youth outshine the veterans.
Yeah, I think Niels has been just racing really well, and he's coached by Tomas Lewandowski. Tomas was about a 146 guy, but his brother ran 144, Marcin. And I used to travel around Europe with Marcin and a couple of the Polish kids to meets. And re I'm impressed with the way Tomas has developed Maros, you know. He was very careful with how he raced this year, and the kid's got wheels, man. He's run 1,000 in 2:14, which is he's got the strength and the speed. So it's going to be an interesting race. Can Josh Kerr win the whole thing?
He could. He's a wily vet.
Yeah,
He's done it before. I haven't seen a lot of him in the last couple of months, other than one Diamond League meet.
yeah.
I think London one, but I wouldn't mind seeing him prove us wrong and beat these kids. But I think we're all going to be surprised. I think it's going to be a fantastic race.
The men's 3,000 meters. Oh no, we didn't even talk about the women's 1,500. I'm sorry. Let's go to the women's 1,500 because that's going to be interesting. You got Faith Kipyegon. You've got let's see, um, Nikki Hiltz. You've got
Jessica Hall.
Jessica Hull. You've got from Ethiopia, Gudaf Segay, among others. What do you think about that race?
Telgi, is that
Yeah, Watelji, Jaribi Watelji.
Telgi?
Yep.
I th Everybody believes Kip Yegon's unbeatable. I always seem to go back to it was after, I believe it was last year after Paris.
Mhm.
She ran away with it, the 1,500, and then they had the World Road Racing Championships a bit after that,
Right.
and she got run down.
Yeah.
And I keep going back to that when I hear that she's unbeatable.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. I don't think
so
anybody's unbeatable, right? That
Nobody's unbeatable.
that's what makes
So
the sport so much fun.
if she runs it, again, a smart race, I think she's unbeatable. But if she kind of tries to go too hard and tries to, run a sub 4 mile pace and ties up, um, Hull will probably tie up too because she'll go with her. So Watelji may sneak in and win that one.
Yeah. What do you think of Jessica Hull?
Um, she went to Oregon, I believe,
Yes, she did.
back when the old Pac-12 still existed,
Yeah.
and she was a great NC2A runner.
Hmm.
She always looks very surprised. I think her eyes are very wide open or something. So
Yeah.
she always seems to be smiling and looking very surprised.
Yeah.
Um,
She's coached by her dad now. She was coached by oh gosh, Peter Peter Julian, and her dad's been coaching her since I think 2023, and it seems like that relationship's doing really really well. That's a good seems to be working for her. What do you think about Nikki Hiltz?
if it's a slow race, maybe, but if they're going to run low 350s, she hasn't shown yet that she's capable of doing that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No,
I think she's a U.S. best chance for picking up a medal, but I see her making the final and then finishing mid pack.
okay. Um, yeah, Nikki is I think pretty talented, great kick. It'll be interesting to see if they can run under 354. And I think it may take that in the semis to make it to the final. So it's going to be, yeah, it's going to be crazy town. And it's going to be hot. We didn't even talk about the weather in Tokyo. What do you, I was just reading that it's been the warmest summer in Japan in 20 years. So what are we expecting? 100-degree days?
No, I think I've been watching the weather. It's going to be low 90s at the highest, but
Okay.
then like low to mid 70s at the lowest. So even while you're trying to sleep at night, it's still going to be 75 degrees. We're
So pretty
talking
humid too, right?
Fahrenheit.
Because what
We're
I
talking
remember
Fahrenheit.
from Osaka was the humidity. And
Tokyo's going to be very humid.
okay,
Um, this time of year, I found after a run, I just cannot stop sweating.
okay.
I'll try to come down from the heat after a run. I'll go take a cold shower and immediately start sweating as soon as I step out of the shower. It's going to be noticeable, very muggy.
Okay. Okay. So hydrate, hydrate, hydrate. Um,
Yep.
all right.
A
We're
little
gonna
bit of water here and there too.
thank you. Yes. I'm going to do something different than I did in Osaka in '07. Um, somehow I ended up at a bar, the only Irish bar in Osaka, Murphy's, and then we ended up in a Yakuza bar about 4 a.m. playing darts, and they had Pabst Blue Ribbon um, imported, which was really interesting. I think I was the only one drinking Sapporo that night because the mob kids really liked their PBR. I do not understand that. I just, and I live near Milwaukee, so it's strange. Hey, the 3,000 steeple on both sides is going to be interesting. Um, you've got our friend from Morocco. You've got Kenny Rooks, who is tough, tough, tough. Um, and I think we've got Lamecha Gurma back after his big fall at the Olympics. What's your take on the men's steeple?
I think the Rooks thing was a complete surprise. I'd be even more surprised to see that again.
Okay.
I'd love to see Gurma come back. I think he would have taken it in Paris last year if he didn't hit the barrier.
Yeah. Yeah.
He was coming on strong. I don't know if he's still going to be a little hesitant.
Yeah.
I know he's still having some issues, like concussion type issues, but
Yeah.
El Bakali is tough. He's very tough, especially on that last 200.
What do you think of Thomas Rupert, the German who's run a couple good races this year?
Can he run 8 flat or 801 or something
I
real
think
low?
804 or 805, I believe.
Oh, okay. I thought it was faster than that. Um, uh, he could very well sneak in there and break up the African dominance.
The On the women's side of the steeple, the Kenyan women and the used to be Kenyan women seem to be the really top of the game. Your thoughts there?
Well, I think Winfred Yaviza used to be.
Yeah, yeah,
She's been very close to breaking the world record, so she's uh, a probably the favorite. And then there's a Ugandan woman in there too, Chemutai. That's
yes.
pretty. Um, and then uh, Chet Getich from Kenya, and then also I'd like to, who I'd like to see sneak up there for a medal is uh, names not coming to mind right now. The one that won the NC2As.
Okay, okay, yeah, all right. Yeah, she just ran her first. She ran in Lausanne in the steeple there, ran 9:16 in the rain, and people were pretty impressed with that. I will put her name up and make sure we have that up when I put our notes up after the broadcast. Um,
Okay.
Now we're getting to two of our favorite races, the 5 and the 10. Um, let's start with the 10 just because it comes earlier in the World Championships. Men's 10,000. Can Grant Fisher medal again?
I think he can. I've heard predictions of a Ethiopian sweep, but they tend to be going for it on an individual basis
Hmm.
uh, too much toward the end, and some of them blow up. If you can get Kajalcha in there doing all the work,
Yeah.
like he likes to do sometimes, and Fisher and Young can hang in there, anything can happen. Um,
And now that Joshua Cheptegei and Jacob Kiplimo are off the track, that it surprised me and it didn't surprise me, because I just don't think Joshua Joshua Cheptegei reminds me of Mark Nino. Mark Nino at the time ran 27:20, and like this was in 1985. It was the fifth best time ever, you know, and Nino was a total, character. First run at 10 a.m., second run at 11 at night, 140 miles a week, 1 day a week of intervals. And everybody thought he was going to be a natural in the marathon, and he ran 2:14. He wasn't really happy with his marathon, and some people don't convert well. I don't think Cheptegei has converted well in the marathon so far, 2:08 and then 2:05. But he may be ready for a big one. And Kiplimo, Kiplimo is such a great cross country runner. I still think they could have medaled in Tokyo, but the stories I'm reading from Ugandan newspapers is that the problem for Joshua is 10 years of competing at this level. It's given him a lot of anxiety, and he's really enjoying the marathon training. So, anybody is going to surprise us in the 10,000 on the men's side?
the There could be who's the Swede Algren. Algren.
Algren. Yeah, yeah.
I don't know if he's running the 10, but if he's not, he could definitely be a surprise in the 5.
Yeah. Do you think Nico? What's your thoughts on Nico Young? And we love to put that picture of you and Nico up on our stories about him because he got. I told him about that picture, and he got a kick out of it. So
He's been having a fantastic year.
yeah.
Um, it'd be awesome as an American fan to see him and Fisher both sneak in there for a medal
Hmm.
as the Ethiopians push the pace and die off because they both have pretty good kicks at that distance.
Yeah. What about the women's 10,000? What's your thought process there? No Stefan Hassan. Um, do you think that a European or American can medal there?
I don't think an American will medal. There's the Italian woman who medaled last year.
Bacaletti.
Lady could uh, definitely sneak in there, or not
Yeah.
even sneak, but be up there with. I don't think anybody's beaten Chibet.
Yeah.
Um, but then let's see what happens if uh, Gudov Sagai goes with her and dies off, then like she has been the
Yeah.
last few meets. I think somebody like Bacaletti and not thinking of no other Europeans come to mind. So I think it'll be,
What do you think of Gudov Sagay?
man, her race tactics seem to be outlandish.
Yeah, it's very old. It's like Filbert Bailly, man, because that 1500 that she just ran, she was on world record pace with 300 meters to go, and she collapsed. And she missed it by, 3 seconds. So it tells you she's capable of doing it.
Yeah.
Um, but I wonder if the 5 and the 10 are calling for her in Tokyo.
If she runs smart, the Ethiopians don't have a reputation for having good race tactics.
Yeah, yeah. Um, let's go to the 5,000 now. Let's start with the men's 5,000, which is going to be an incredible race. Um, no matter if it's fast or slow, it'll end up fast, whether it's 1K, 2K, 3K, or 4K, a race. Um, what's your thoughts on the men's 5,000?
I'm kind of feeling with the heat and humidity that it's going to be slow, especially with a lot of people coming back from the 10.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to be somebody that's coming up from the 15,
Okay.
like an Bretson or a Hawker or somebody like that that's going to steal the medals.
Do you think LaRoche could medal in the five? There's rumors
Depends on how.
I think he signed up for the 800, 1,500, and the five. And so he'll have to announce next week which two he's going to do. Um, and because I don't think he can do all three. Um, but I'm very curious.
I see him doing better in the 5 than the 8,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
he could sneak in there. I'm predicting it's going to be something in the 13 O's,
yeah, yeah,
and it's going to be one of these 1,500 types, not a 10,000 type.
yeah. Could we see a mile, the last mile, light mass? Excuse me, last six. I hate the 1,600. I'm not even going to get started because I'll go for 2 hours on how much I hate the 1,600 and the 3,200. But just for the last mile or 1,600, just to keep our little freaks happy. Can you see a last mile in 350 in that 5,000?
I can see a 355.
Okay, okay, that's good. Yeah, I tend to agree. Tend to agree. Um, so we have done the. Are you okay talking about field events?
I mean,
Do you have a favorite
a
field
little
event?
bit about them, but I don't know if I can go at event by event. But
Okay, talk about. Tell me your favorite field event.
well, it varies year to year. If
Uh-huh.
what's exciting me this year is that the men's shot put has always been exciting. It's more so now because there's no uh, there was always kind of a obvious winner in the past with Krauser, even though occasionally he'd get beat. But this year it seems to be very up for grabs. Every meet is a new winner there.
Yeah. Well, you got Lawrence Fabry, the European champion. You've got um, was it Joshua Tunde who won the U.S. champs? Um, no Joe Kovacs for the first time since 2012. He's not on a U.S. team. And Krauser, we don't know what kind of shape he's in. And I haven't heard a word from his manager, Paul Doyle. And normally I get a note from Paul about, well, he's doing this or doing that. So it's going to be interesting to see what comes there. Um, and I agree with you. The women's shot is going to be fascinating too because you've got Chase Jackson who's got the best jumps, the best throws in the world right now. But then you've got Jessica Schindler. You've got the Sarah Mitten from Canada, who just lost on a DQ because she at the at the Diamond League she had her foot went out of the ring, and the Dutch coach protested, and she was that big throw was ruled as a foul, so she went from first to I think fourth. So it's going to be interesting to see what the women's shot is. Um, what about the relays? You want to talk about the 4x1 and the 4x4?
Uh, yeah, but I did also want to mention one field event.
Sure.
At, I think the Japanese would go crazy. The fans for the women's javelin.
Okay. Yeah. Let's talk about that.
Uh, the Hitaguchi is uh, won the Olympics. I believe she's known for uh, late round magic, coming out of nowhere in round 6 and
Yeah.
winning. And look forward to the crowd's reaction to that.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I just remember when Koji Mirafushi threw in '07. Um, there were buses of kids coming to Osaka to see him throw, and he was a total rock star. So that should be a lot of fun. Yeah, the women's long jump I think is going to be interesting. The men's long jump's kind of blah this year. Uh, Tara Davis Woodall and Malika Mihambo are probably the class of the field with this Larissa Iapicino. Her mom, Fiona May, won 2 world champs and 2 Olympic silvers. So she's got a little. I interviewed her in the Netherlands and asked her if she feels pressure about how her mom did, and she goes, "Yeah, every day." So that gives you an idea. Um, we would be remiss without talking about the pole vault. Mondo Duplantis has broken the world record 13 times, and earlier this week I did a helped launch a new podcast for BBC called More Than the News, and we were talking about are world records good for the sport? What do you think about Mondo Duplantis and what he adds to the sport?
Uh, I think everybody's excited about seeing a world record, and I was there when that happened, and that kind of um, the the thing that's different about the pole vault is it's the record adjustments are too predictable.
Hmm.
Uh, Bubka did it back in the day, and now Duplantis is doing what Bubka did. Um, I think the World Athletics is playing around with changing up some of the events to try to make it more exciting for the fans. Like how high did they really jump versus how where was the bar set at?
Yeah, yeah,
I don't like what they try to do with the long jump, which is get rid of the board.
yeah, yeah, I agree. So
Uh,
let me throw this out at you. Um, a BBC interview that's going to be posted on Sunday. It was with Mondo, and it was part of our broadcast. And Mondo said that he thinks right now, if all conditions were great, he could go 640. So I'm going to propose this question to you. Let's say Mondo wins in Tokyo at 615. He clears 620. Should he, instead of going for the world record at 631, take a shot at 640? Or should he build up? So say if he can hit 630 and then 631, should he go for 640 after that?
I think he'll go 1 centimeter above his current record
Yeah, yeah.
and stop there. I don't see him putting it way up there.
Yeah, he told us in the interview on last week when Ade Yimbo from BBC asked him. They said he was Mondo was asked, "Hey, after you set the world record, why don't you take another attempt?" And he just said, I'm drained. I don't have anything left, and I think that makes a lot of sense. So
Combination of that and world record bonus.
yeah, yeah, you're right. Women's pole vault, we could go 1-2 there. Katie Moon and Sandy Morris. Um, then you have the Mall sisters, Amanda and Hannah, and the Olympic champion Nina Kennedy, who hasn't jumped at all this year, is going to be competing in the pole vault. Any thoughts?
Now she bailed out this morning.
She did. She bailed out. Okay. Thanks for letting me know. Yeah, I'm waiting on whether our friend Gianmarco Tom Beery is going to jump. He's only cleared 214 this season in the high jump, and he wanted to defend, but he's not. He said he's not going to go if he's going to be crap. And I get that. But well, then let's go to the 4x1. Give me your thoughts on the 4x1. How should track fan? How should I'm going to? Here's the question: how should sports fans, people who are not really, they don't know a lot about track and field. How should they look at the 4x1? What's the key to watching the 4x1?
It's a tough one to watch, but you need to put your eight lanes, 9 lanes are staggered out, and it's hard to tell who's in the lead. So you have to have a keen eye for watching when the baton is actually handed off to see who's in the lead.
Hmm.
Um, if you can't really see the athletes' markers on the ground or the lane lines that clearly to see if somebody's passing out of the zone or anything. So you're really relying on good announcing,
Okay.
especially in the 4x1. The 4x4 is a lot easier to watch, but four
Yeah.
by one, look for the baton handoff to see who's in the lead.
What's your predictions on the women's 4x1?
Uh, U.S. and England are always quite good. Will probably come down to those two teams.
Hmm.
Um, Jamaica's been there in the past, but depends on what they can throw together. I think they're a little aged, except for the twins.
Yeah. What about the men's 4x1?
Will the U.S. even make it to the final, or will they pull a flubber in the semis?
Yeah, that is always what you with us having the most fast sprinters. It's so I just remember the French relay team breaking, what was it, 94, breaking the Santa Monica relays world record. And the kids from France, I went and did an interview with their coach. He had coached them since they were 14, and they were all like 19 or 20. The fastest one of the four was 10:08. And I was just like, how do you run so fast? And he goes, because we practice the baton every day, you know? And I think that's a difference between every team but the US, you know? And
Yeah,
I just don't get it. It's uh, Great Britain, obviously. Great Britain has 24 people in their relay camps, and they on the men and women's side, and they all get $30,000 a year plus 3 training camps, and they have to show up. And I wonder why we can't do that in the U.S. And it's just because it's egos. It's nothing else but egos, you know. Um, let's go to the 4x4, men's 4x4. Um, what's your thoughts?
it was way too close last year.
Yeah.
Uh, was it Botswana
Yep.
and U.S.?
Yep. Yeah. I
Uh,
interviewed Rye Benjamin in November and asked him specifically about the race. And he told me that he went out moderately and knew that if he started pushing after 300, he thought he could break Tobogo at 350. And he said that's where he felt Tobogo start to go. And he said Tobogo's a great sprinter, but it's a different world than the 4x4. I don't like seeing him that close, you know. And I think we've got a great team this year. It's going to be interesting to see how they put it together, you know. I love Vernon, Norwood, um, Rye Benjamin. I think will be spectacular. I think Jacare Peterson. Um, so it's going to be interesting to see what can happen there. You know.
Great Britain might surprise as well.
Yeah. What about on the women's side?
I don't think anybody's beaten the U.S. on the women's side.
Okay. Um, we missed 2 events on the track that we need to talk about. Can you give me another 5 minutes?
Yeah,
Thank you, Jeff. And thanks for doing this, buddy. I'm really enjoying it. Um, and, we haven't violated any federal regulations that I know of yet. So, we'll still try over the next 5 to 10 minutes. The 110 hurdles. Grant Holloway's won 3. World Championships outdoors, three indoors, and an Olympics and a silver medal in the Olympics. Can he win again?
I'm not seeing it.
Okay. Will he medal?
Yeah, bronze
Okay. Who are you
prediction.
picking?
Possibly Tinch.
Okay.
Um, Trying to think who's been doing well. The Americans have been doing well in that event, so I think we'll probably get two medals out of that.
What about the Swiss kid, Jason Joseph? I think he's won like 1303.
Or there, what's that Jamaican Brodoff?
Yeah. Oh, yes. Yeah, Broadwell. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Now let's get to a crazy one, the women's 100 hurdles. You've got Masai Russell, who has just been burning it up. Um, but you've got challengers from Jamaica. You've got Tataji Kambunji from Switzerland. You've got Nadine Visser, who's beat Masai Russell. Can anybody beat Masai in Tokyo?
Um, well, any of her teammates,
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
or who's the uh, Nugent from Jamaica?
Yeah, yeah.
I don't think I think the Cuban woman's past her prime.
Okay, okay.
What's the one that went to Kentucky?
Oh, yeah. Okay,
Uh, but I think you got to put Masai Russell as the favorite right now.
okay. 400 hurdles. Men's 400 hurdles. Can Ry Benjamin beat Karsten Warholm?
I'd love to see it. I'd love to see it. I think it's going to come down to those two,
Okay.
Dos Santos in his normal spot of third.
Yeah, yeah. I got to talk to Ry a couple times after the U.S. champs. He told me his most challenging race of the year was at 300 hurdles. He said he wants to do it again, but he says he'll take a different tactic to it. And then I interviewed Karsten remotely. I do this thing where from the Diamond League meets, I put in all the questions, and then they have some kid, ask these guys the questions. And sometimes they get it right, sometimes they really suck. But with Karsten's always good. And they asked him about his best race of the year, and he said the 300 hurdles. And but I got to tell you, that 46:28 was his last three hurdles blow my mind, and
Yeah.
it seems to be really on. But Rye seems on too. Um, he's just not racing a lot, which I don't think he seems to need to be able to do. He's learned what works for him, but his biggest thing is he's not getting lost in the head games anymore. Um, I think until he beat Warholm at Pre in 2023, in September of 2023, he was having a hell of a time racing against him because that Olympics in 2021 was just so unfrigging believable, And Warholm has said since then, I don't think I'll ever run that time again. It was one of those, it was a perfect storm. I mean, I think that's the thing that people don't get about world records. Ron Clark broke what, 36 world records, most of them in Scandinavia. Perfect weather, great crowd. He was in incredible shape. He had great fields. So was that perfect storm kind of a thing. So it's going to be interesting to see. That race is going to be a lot of fun. Um, let's go to the women's 400 hurdles. Um, Femke Bowl, can anybody beat her who's actually competing in the race?
No, no, she's got this one. If she, unless she's hurt,
Yeah. Do you think that Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone will come back to the 400 hurdles?
I think so. I think she'll be back.
Okay. Yeah, I think I'm fascinated with how Bobby works with her and Jenna Prandini and a lot of the other athletes. I'm not sure why he hasn't worked with the thing. Um, I didn't think his way of having her do a five, a 3,000 of a five, few 1,500s, a couple 800s. There was nothing bad with it. I just don't know if a thing her head's in it anymore.
Yeah, I would like to see her do some 400s or something, do some fast stuff, maybe running in lanes to not get tripped up.
Yeah, that'd be nice. What about Shelby Houlihan? What are your thoughts on Shelby?
Running wise,
Yeah, let's start with running wise, and then I'll ask you the burrito question.
the running wise, I was kind of surprised to see her win the 5,000 at Nationals. I really thought that Andrus should have taken it out harder.
Yeah.
I think Andrus just about set herself up for failure
Hmm.
by doing what a lot of the 1,500-meter runners do, which is assuming they have the best kick.
Yeah.
She was 30 seconds better than the rest of the Americans in that race, and it came down to a kick, and she got third and just barely. But Houlihan still tough as nails.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
She's
to,
never she's never admitted that she did anything wrong. Um, my feeling is that she served her time. As any athlete who serves their time, I think they should be allowed to compete again. Um, but I think that people look at her, well, some people look at her differently. The Europeans think we're hypocrites because, we defended Shelby or some defended Shelby. And we don't do the same thing with the Kenyan athletes or the European athletes. Um, what's your thoughts about there are people who say that Kenya should be banned from the sport, like Russia. Do you believe that should be the case?
it doesn't appear to me to be state sponsored. It seems to be individual.
Okay.
So uh, continuing what they're doing, it seems like they're putting more effort and money into trying to catch the cheats over there. Uh,
Okay.
I see it very differently from the Russia situation.
Good. Thank you. And then final question, and we talked about this a few times. I'm actually working on a column on it, and you've already given me uh, advice on this. Um, you and I have gone to Olympic trials uh, ad infinitum. We've gone to U.S. champs. I've enjoyed them in Sacramento. I've enjoyed events in LA. I've enjoyed events at Duke University. I've enjoyed events at Randall's Island. Um, what it seems that people are exhausted with Eugene. Do you have any suggestions on making it better?
Well, I don't know if you can make Eugene better. Uh, they the thing about Eugene is the travel and then the town hotels and everything prices, Airbnb
Yeah.
prices get jacked up, and so it's a very inconvenient, very expensive trip. I've learned how to do it on the cheap, but the bulk of the people traveling there can't can't do that or don't want to do that. Um, I think Mount Sac uh, would be a good location, and uh, when the trials were originally supposed to be there in 2020, and then got moved to Eugene, and then delayed a year. I think that's some of the USATF Max Siegel nonsense,
Yeah.
just like with the marathon trials for 2024.
Yeah.
So there's some political biases there.
Yeah. And I know, and we had that same thing in 2016 when Houston actually won the recommendation of LDR, and Max moved it to LA. And I thought the Olympic trials in LA may have been the worst marathon trials I've ever been to.
Yeah.
Um, it just was, and it could have been better in LA. I mean, there's ways to do it there and do it well, but it just seemed like an afterthought. And then final question: what is the event you're looking forward to most in Tokyo?
It's got to be the men's 1500.
Okay.
Here's an issue I'm facing as a spectator.
Okay.
I forget whether it's the second day or the third day. The second day is Sunday the 14th, and the
Right.
third day is Monday the 15th. Uh, there's one of them. There's a marathon that starts in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
Logistically, if I want to go to a good spot to watch the marathon, I'm going to miss the first round of the men's 1500.
Yeah.
And so I think what I'm going to try to figure out how to do is basically run over, catch the start and the leaders as they leave the start line area, and then hopefully they'll have the marathon on screen in the stadium.
What we've been told is they're showing the entire marathon on the screen.
Okay, well
So,
that's good to know because I'd love to watch the marathon out on the road, but I don't want
yeah.
to miss good stuff on the track. But
No, I get it, my friend. And then probably final thing. Um, any thoughts on the marathons?
uh, those ones are always the world champs marathon. You don't always get the best in the world because it's not as prestigious as the Olympics, and
Yeah.
there's not as much money. Um, I'd like to see one of these Ed Eyestone trained guys sneak in there for a medal.
Me too. Me too. Yeah, I think so as well. I think that could be a lot of fun. Yeah, I'm going to interview Ed in the next few weeks and Julie Benson. But Jeff Shaver, thank you so much. Thanks for giving us an hour and 15 minutes. Um, I miss seeing you on a weekly basis as we did for all those years ago on Tuesday nights at Foothill College. But I get to see you at a lot of the U.S. champs. And is our friend Doug coming over too?
Doug's going to be. We got an Airbnb over there,
Oh,
a
great.
couple miles from the stadium.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I'm supposed to be about 1.28 miles from the stadium, so we'll see. Um,
You're closer. We're at 2.1 miles from the
okay,
stadium.
well, that gives me room to walk, and um, it should be a lot of fun. I'm going over on Tuesday, so I have a few days to get used to everything, and then I've got a bunch of interviews with USATF athletes. I'm going to try to get some of the Brits and then some of the Europeans too. So that should be a lot of fun. But Jeff Shaver, thanks again for being on Conversations with Larry. I think we've solved many world problems and given people some thoughtful suggestions on what will happen in most of the track events and a few of the field events too. Thanks again, my friend.
Good to see you, Larry.
See you too.